Hola, friends. Welcome to the Medicine, Marriage, and Money YouTube channel, the only channel for physicians who want to achieve marital interdependence and financial freedom together. On this channel, you will learn how to show up as the best version of yourself so that you can love intentionally and build a more financially savvy relationship with your spouse. And I am your host, a physician mom, a doctor's wife, a Gottman leader, a certified life and marriage coach, Dr. Kate Mangona. Welcome. Bienvenidos. Hello, thanks for joining in. So today I'm going to talk about what to do with that mom guilt, okay? And how to handle the mom guilt when your spouse love, hopefully they're the same, doesn't understand. And the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because this is a real life scenario that is happening to me today, this moment. Today happens to be my birthday, and I am living in the last year of the 30s of my life. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I really do appreciate all the texts and phone calls. Although I have never been one of those girls who sits by my phone, expecting you to call, expecting you to remember, expecting anything. I prefer to call my friends first. I prefer to call my family first after I take care of what I need to do. So, what we're talking about today, how to handle that mom guilt when your love doesn't understand, when your partner does not understand. And this is actually a lot more common than we discuss and we talk about, because we think we're the only ones. We go internally, we get upset, we may cry, we may think, nobody understands. And then we may go talk with our friends and then just get more upset about it and blame, the guys, the men, whatever, for not understanding. And here's the truth. The truth of the matter is, number one, if you are in a heterosexual relationship and you are the female and you are married to the male, they do not internalize. Dad guilt is not the same as mom guilt. You don't hear that term dad guilt being thrown around from place to place the same as you hear mom guilt. Why is that? Well, our brains work differently. The feminine and the masculine internalize things differently. Women tend to internalize things and make things mean about ourselves. My children's upset, my children's crying, or my children's not happy. That means I'm a bad mom, or that means something happened. I could have prevented this. I could have done something. The fathers or the males, on the other hand, tend to usually externalize it. And this has been proven. This is chemistry. This is biochemistry. This is not, and some of it's society related as well and cultural. They tend to find things wrong with the external environment. Oh, well, it's because she said, they did. The house is a mess, the house, whatever. And find fault on others. And that's not a problem until we make it one. So the first thing, and there's 6 steps that I want you guys to practice when you do feel that kind of shame, that blame, that mom guilt, that heaviness, wherever you feel that in your chest and your throat and your stomach. Sometimes it's just absolutely gut wrenching. And sorry about that. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is to recognize what your expectations are, because this happened to me just last night. And because it was my birthday, I had planned a stay at the spa with myself. I was going to get work done in the morning, spa in the afternoon, and then go out to dinner with a handful of friends in my hometown. Why I decided to do that on my birthday is because my husband works late on this particular day of the week. Okay. He always works late. So I knew that I wasn't going to be doing anything with him, and I didn't expect that from him. I didn't expect him to rearrange his whole schedule. Okay. So that's one expectations that I threw away several years ago. I would say 5 years ago, 4 years ago. My 6-year-old, though, said, well, mommy, why aren't you spending your birthday with us? Like, you should pick us up from school. We should be spending the whole day together. That's what we have to spend the whole day with you. Mind you, we just got back from a 4-day mini vacation with all 3 of our children, just me and Victor and our 3 children. We happened to go on the same 4-day Disney cruise with a couple other family friends. And so they had a blast. And we considered that like my birthday trip. But the kids didn't see it that way. And if you've ever been on a Disney cruise or a vacation with 3 children and multiple families, you know the vacation is oftentimes centered around the kids' activities, what they want to do, making sure that they're happy, they're fed, they're clothed, they're in bed. And there's not much downtime ever, even with kids club, even with nursery, which was helpful, even with family there to help out or friends, which I'm so grateful for. But even coming back from that 4-day mini vacation, and then even the week before the vacation, 10 days before, my family was all home with COVID. We went on vacation, I think like day 14. So 2 weeks, my family had been out of school and home for like 3 weeks straight. So I had been seeing them a lot. But because it was my birthday, my 6-year-old said she needed to spend the day with me. Now, she told me this last night after I had shared my plans with her, because I didn't even think she would ask. And, kids turn 6, things change. And then I felt this pang of immense guilt, trying to figure out where I even felt it. But you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever felt it before, like, oh my God, like when you see your little child get so upset and so excited at the same time because they want to be with you. Oh, I feel it behind my eyes. This is fresh, y'all. This is why I'm sharing this with you. So the first thing, the 6 steps, I'm going to speed this up a little bit, but the first step is to not expect your spouse or your love, even your loves, your children, to really understand your emotions. Okay. Nobody can understand because they don't live inside your head, and that's okay. Believe me, they want to understand. They want to be there for you. They want to say what you need to hear and what you want to hear, but they often don't know what to say, and they don't know what it is you need to hear. So oftentimes they'll say nothing. They may go stone faced. It may be like talking to a wall. Or they may say something that you interpret or perceive as stupid or ridiculous or not helpful. Okay. That's still step number 1. Just don't expect them to understand. It's okay. They really think they do and they want to. But just like we can't really get in our spouse's head or our children's head, we will never 100% understand. When I was in medical school and when I was taught to speak to my patients with empathy, we were taught never to say, I understand. Now, people have different opinions on this, but we had this class called Cues, which was helped us have a good bedside manner. And we were taught to never say, I understand, when our patients are crying or grieving about their medical diagnosis, medications they're going to have to take, family members. What they taught us to say instead is, that's understandable. And the reason they taught us that is because whether you agree with it or not, is we could never fully understand somebody else unless we've actually been in their shoes. And oftentimes we don't have diabetes. We don't have this autoimmune disorder. We didn't get cancer. Like, we don't completely 100% understand, but that to recognize that that's understandable and that their feelings are valid, that is what people want to hear. People want to be validated. You want to be validated. It's okay to have that mom guilt. It's okay to feel sad. And then number 2, which you just experienced with me just now, allow the feeling of sadness. Allow that feeling of guilt, of shame, of whatever it is, sadness, grief. Allow it. Allow the tears to flow. You don't have to call it a pity party, although you can. And then determine whether you want to allow yourself to have your little pity party, if you want to call it that, or maybe you just call it your flush out or releasing your toxins, the toxin releasing party. Okay. Allow it. Decide if you want it to last 5 minutes, the whole evening, the next day. You get to decide. Do I want to hold on to this or do I want to move on? Now, for me, falling asleep in tears is often enough. By the morning, I don't want to feel that way anymore. And oftentimes at night, I don't want to feel that way either. It's harder for me at night. And I think a lot of us our circadian rhythms, we just get that low, our serotonin levels, that we just get this low level. We're ready to go to sleep. Things are always darker in the nighttime, outside and in our heads, and we just need to go to sleep. Allow the tears to flow. If you want to snap out of it, then okay, this is your opportunity. You can skip to number 6, which we'll get to in a minute. But if you just have never allowed yourself to sit there with your sadness, with yourself, not calling your friend, not calling your mom, not telling your husband or your spouse, just allow yourself to be sad. And not alternatively, but also in addition, allow your child to be sad. Allow those tears to flow if they realize they're going to have a babysitter come over and you're going to be going out with a group of friends, or you're going to be going on a date, or you're going to have that work meeting, or you're going on that work trip. Whatever it is, allow that, right? That's allowed. Like, you want to be sad too. You don't want your spouse coming and saying, cheer up, buttercup, like snap out of it. You're not ready yet. Allow them to be sad too. Number 3, don't turn to friends. And when I said, you can reach out to friends, I'm a huge proponent of reaching out to those friends, those coaches in your life who help lift you up. Don't turn to those friends who are going to say, man, why don't they understand? Or, you know what? Motherhood is really all about sacrificing yourself 100% of the time. Maybe you shouldn't go to the spa for your birthday. Maybe you shouldn't go out with friends. I think you should probably just stay home. Your kid needs you. Your kid needs you. Guess what? Your kids will always want you, and they will always want more of you. I want more of my mom all the time, and I'm 39 years old today. Oh my gosh. I want her to visit all the time. I want her to move in with me if she can, to help me with everything. Help me with my life, with my kids, with my house. She just makes me happy. Okay. So do not turn to those friends who will pull you down deeper into that shame or into that guilt for moving forward with your plans, for living that balanced life, and for not living that archetype of the sacrificial mom who's burnt out and ready to yell at everybody who comes into her sight, and then eventually just has broken relationships all over the place. That is not the archetype I want you guys to perpetuate. And that's how I live my life as well. So that's 1, 2, and 3. 4 is when you are ready. Okay, so you reached out to that friend or that coach that's lifting you up. Turn to a moment of gratitude. And you can actually do this for number 3 or number 4, but turn to that moment of gratitude. Actually, what are you grateful? Oh my gosh, how amazing am I to have a daughter who wants to spend the entire day with me for my birthday? Like, she didn't say that when she was 2. She may not say that when she's 16, but here she's 6 and she's saying that. How blessed am I to have gone on this mini vacation, right? How blessed are you to have a house that has heat, to have enough food in the fridge, to be able to go and spend time with your healthy children, or to even go to work and to serve the patients you serve? How blessed are we? So that's number 4. Because when we turn to gratitude, it's hard to stay in that mom guilt for just that second, right? And then we just practice it a little bit more and more over time. And then number 5, the normal. Listen, I mentioned this above. The normal and you'll see this in our cultural memes. You'll see this on TV. You'll see this in romance movies. You'll see the normal archetype is that mom that's burnt out. They're worn out. They're sitting at home, doing laundry, cooking for the kids, taking the kids to and from school, going to work, serving their patients, serving their clients, pretending like they don't have kids, even when the kids are sick and they need somebody to go pick them up, right? Pretending like sneaking out after they see their last patient to go get your vomiting child. Like when you're at work, you have to pretend like you don't have kids. You're not pumping, you're not nursing, you don't have menstrual cramps, nothing. You're working, you're serving. Then you come home and you have to pretend like you don't work. Okay. You're only doing, or you don't volunteer at school, whatever it is that you're filling your time up with when you don't have the kids around. And some of you have kids around all the time when they don't go to school. That normal, that our society kind of wants us to stay in there because I feel like they want us to feel trapped. They want us to feel the sad. They want us to feel the mom guilt. That's not normal, you guys. I want to share this beautiful text from a friend that I reached out to today. Actually, I didn't reach out to her. She reached out to me first. She said, happy birthday. And like a lot of my friends did. And for some reason, I knew this friend would understand. So I told her, she asked me how my day was going. And I said, we just got back from the most amazing 4-day Disney cruise. It was supposed to be it was for my birthday. The kids had so much fun. And so today I've decided to plan a day of mom, just me and my friends. My Victor's at work, so I can't be with him. So I've planned this day so I don't, I'm not resentful of nobody else planning this day for me. And then told her about my 6-year-old's response. And I said, you know what? It's too late to cancel my plans, though. I don't want to pay the spa for an appointment that I have canceled less than 24 hours in advance. And I also don't want to cancel on 15 of my friends. Okay. So many mixed emotions, right? Because I really want to go, but I don't want my kid to be sad. And I feel so grateful that she wants to spend time with me. Feeling so blessed. This is what she said. You guys, words of wisdom. And this is the most important part of the podcast. And this is why I am having this episode, is that you can hear these brilliant words my friend shared with me. It's okay for her to feel sad, Kate. And you should 100,000% go to the spa and dinner and have the best time ever. If you could stay home all day and stare at, if I could stay home all day and stare at my girls, they would love that, right? If we didn't go to work, if we didn't take them to school, if we could just stay at home and stare at them as they tantrum, as they play, as they get upset, as they fight, as they laugh, as they have fun, right? Because it's a whole mixture of emotions all day long. They would love it. But it's not actually what's best for them in the long run. I was like, oh my gosh, she's right. It's not, right? And I said, thank you so much. This is exactly what I wanted to hear. And this is one of my dermatology friends. Okay. And she's just wise beyond her words, beyond her years. I said, thank you so much. I walked Shanola to school this morning and I told her I was going to spend time with her on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. And it was going to be okay. And she said, this is where it gets even more brilliant. What if what you are doing, and I want you to even say this to yourself, put your hand on your heart right now and repeat after me. What if what I am doing is already 100% enough and nothing needs to be made up to them? If they're sad, if they're angry for something you said, something you're not doing, something you couldn't go see their school performance, you couldn't go to their award ceremony because you had to work, or simply because, and here I'm not even working, right? I scheduled a dinner date with friends for my birthday because I didn't want to have to deal with tantrums and, the aftermath of kids staying up till midnight every night when they should be going to sleep at 8 p.m. So what if you are doing is already 100% enough and nothing needs to be made up to them? What if by modeling a balanced week, you, or you can say I, if your hand is on your heart. What if by modeling a balanced week, I am in fact modeling to my children how to prioritize themselves in the future in a world where the burnt out, sacrificial mom archetype is the norm? Okay, that hit me hard, you guys. That hit me hard. Next time you're dealing with mom guilt, I want you to remember this. I want you to remember that everything you do for yourself, you're also doing for your children. You are showing them what balance looks like. You are showing them, you are modeling them how to prioritize themselves so they don't find themselves trapped in the future in a relationship they are unhappy with because they are resentful somebody else is not understanding them, where they just need to understand themselves first. They don't feel trapped in a future relationship where their spouse doesn't allow them to be sad, because guess what? They don't know how to be sad and allow those emotions to flow themselves, because maybe they were told by their parents or their friends to suck it up, to get back in the game. Of course, yes, you want them to get back in the game, but it's okay to be sad. It's okay to shed a tear. What you are doing is already 100% enough. Nothing needs to be made up. By modeling a balanced week, you are in fact modeling to your children and your spouse and your friends and your patients how to prioritize themselves in the future in a world where the burnt out, sacrificial mom and dads, the archetype is norm. We are overachievers. We are hypervigilant. We are perfectionists. We go to work. We feel like we're going to get an award for the more hours we work, for the more achievements we achieve, for professor status, whatever it is, the more money you make. Listen, you guys, what is it all about? Prioritizing and living a life of a mindful life where you find joy and spread joy to others. Okay, patients come to you, they see you not only for their illnesses, but also for that hope, for that spark of joy, for that balance. They don't want to go see a physician who's killing themselves. Okay. I thought that was brilliant. So I'm just going to overview the 6 steps again for when next time you're dealing with mom guilt. Number 1, or dad guilt. If you are one of those, I would say, sensitive dads who does feel this sometimes. Number 1, don't expect your spouse to understand you, to fully understand you. They want to, believe me, they want to, but they might not fully understand where you're coming from. Just like you don't always fully understand why they react to certain things, why they have that tantrum or that anger or that frustration. They might not understand where your sadness or guilt is coming from. Number 2, allow the tears. Number 3, do not turn to those friends who are going to pull you down, have you canceling your plans, sacrificing, saying all the things that you think you want to hear, but aren't helpful in the long run. Number 4, turn towards gratitude. What about this moment is just making you feel so grateful for? Number 5, recognize the normal world is showing pictures and movies and depictions of the sacrificial mom archetype. That's the normal. You don't have to be that. Okay? You do not have to be that. And number 6, I didn't even get to number 6 yet. Number 6, love them and love yourself. Okay, so once you recognize that that's normal, you can say that loving meditation to yourself. Those texts my brilliant, wise friend texted to me, just love them. Love them in their sadness. Love yourself in your sadness. Figure out what you want to do. Are you ready to snap out of it? Turn on that music. I had to turn on the Lil Boo thing and made some Meghan Trainor. Call a friend. Now's the time. Call your friend. Call your mom. Call your dad. Call your grandparents. Call your aunt and uncles. Call your nieces and nephews. Call anybody. Okay? Just to hey, what's going on in their life? Get out of my own head. Really, life is not about us. It's about how we're all intertwined, weave together. Okay? It's about growing, progress, and then contributing back. Play some upbeat music, get up, move around, dance, take the bar class, wiggle at home if that's your thing. And I'm just going to close with the loving meditation, the wise words my friend said, so that you guys have it, can repeat it, write it down, record it. So the next time you're feeling that mom guilt, you can go straight here. Hand on your heart, close your eyes if you're not driving. What if what I am doing is already 100% enough and nothing needs to be made up to them? What if by modeling a balanced week, you are in fact, or I am in fact modeling to my children, to my friends, to my patients, how to prioritize themselves in the future in a world where the burnt out, sacrificial mom archetype is the norm. So much love, my friends. And if you're still listening, I'd like to give you 2 reminders. The first is we are still doing the 30-day intimacy challenge. Sign up. Links will be included in the show notes. And number 2, we are still open for enrollment for Honeymoon 2.0. So if you are jazzed up, excited, ready for even more intimacy, romance with you and your love, ready for alone time away from the children, because guess what? That is in fact allowed and encouraged to set that standard, to model your future children when they're adults and grown up to prioritize themselves. Don't be that burnt out mom. Don't do it. Don't be that burnt out dad. Come on Honeymoon 2.0 with me and Dr. Alexandra Stockwell in Maui, 2024, October 7th through 11th. It's going to be heaven on earth, set at the 4 seasons for beautiful days of breathtaking scenery, intimacy, and couples coaching. It is not therapy. It is not couples counseling. It is taking your love to the next level. We'll be doing activities where we're going to be riding down a beautiful mountain called Haleakala. There'll be opportunities for hula dancing, surfing. It's going to be epic. I hope you guys can join. Link will be in the show notes and can also be found on my cover photo on Facebook, on my links in bio on Instagram. DM me if you have any questions at all. So much love, my friends. If you are finding the concepts I teach in these episodes useful and want more in-depth and personalized support for your relationship, consider this your invitation to join me in creating the most connected and intimate relationship with your spouse that you could dream of. Go to www.medicinemarriageandmoney.com right now and download my 18-page medical marriage survival guide and workbook at no cost to you. I also have a 6-day marriage challenge, which goes over the 6 predictors of divorce at no cost to you. These have been known to decrease fighting, rumination, and grudges between you and your loved one. If you want to take it a step farther, really enhance the joy and connection in the most intimate relationship in your life, sign up for my 8-week Making Marriage Work program today at medicinemarriageandmoney.com. Thanks for leaving us a stellar review, subscribing, and sharing with your friends on social media. You have the power to improve someone else's life and marriage simply by sharing this episode. Much love to you and your spouse. You're exactly where you need to be in this moment. Adios, my friends. The content of this episode is not intended to be a substitute for professional, medical, or financial advice. The opinions provided on this episode are those of myself or the invited guest alone. They do not represent the opinions of any particular institution. Always seek the advice of your physician or financial advisor with any questions you may have of a medical condition or financial plan. This is for your entertainment only.